afternoon. So just a couple of changes, and Koto comes into the side on the left in place of Noah Ajayi. Rafe McCormack drops to the bench to be replaced by Jay McAvoy. Just those two changes. Cameron Byrne-Hughes in goal. Back for Watson, Armour, Mills and Halafu. Armour takes the captain's armband again. Thwaites is going to be pulling the strings in the centre of midfield, and then the four in front of him, and Koto wide left, Brown wide right, who's played in all but 2 league games this season. Gabriel with 16 league goals, alongside him McAvoy, and then Louis Bradbury, who certainly knows where the back of the net is since coming into the side. He's got 9 league goals this season and leads the line for Darren Fletcher's side. In terms of Nottingham Forest, well, they are hot on the heels of the top 4. In fact, they're in the top 4, hot on the heels of the top 3. They've made a couple of changes too, but Graham in goal, Whiteley, Thompson, Bolter and Brooms the back 4. We think it'll be 3 in midfield. Frank Jamner with 2 goals and 5 assists really does pull the strings for them. Schluter alongside to the left-hand side, Willows the other side. Tennille Brandy, Jaden Powell and Zane Blake make up the 11. They don't score lots of goals, Nottingham Forest, but they do make life difficult for teams, and none more so than the reverse fixture where they beat Manchester United by 2 goals to 1 a little bit earlier this season. He gets another start here. He's got, I think it's nine goals for the season, 6 in the league for Manchester United, so excellent work from him, but he's only played 9 games. We are underway in the Under-18s Premier League North between Manchester United and Nottingham Forest at the Carrington Training Centre. Manchester United looking to try and find a way past the side that gave them some real problems earlier in the season. In fact, one of only a few losses for Darren Fletcher's side over the course of this season. And they'll be looking to put that one right. Lost 4 games over the course of this year, Manchester United's Under-18s. Just goes to show that they've been playing at a really high level. It is Forest on the attack though, as they work their way into the penalty area. This is going to need dealing with. It's pulled back into the box and calmly brought away by Watson. Float to pass out, which is intercepted. Gabriel re-intercepts, and now Manchester United looking to get away down the left-hand side. And Koto.
He's done well there, Watson. Didn't panic at all when that ball came in the 6-yard box, just took his time.
Armour goes back to Byrne-Hughes, a goalkeeper who is adept with his feet, will come off his line quickly, closes down the space in front of him, but he's also happy to bring the ball out of the penalty area like this and be part of the passing build-up for Manchester United. Really calm under pressure as well, sometimes more than us, watching on from the sidelines. Mills comes back to Byrne-Hughes. Just having a look at where he can place this, just dinks it out to Armour, who runs into the space. I thought just for a moment that Brandy might try and close that down. It comes out to Gabriel and Koto, as it's stolen away from him by Bolter, picked up by Brooms, swept out to the right-hand side, and Brandy's going to try and get a ball in early. It's a clever ball into the middle, but going to be collected by Yul Halafu. Manchester United should be able to get themselves out of that predicament. Clever thought to play that arcing ball into the centre, Arthur.
Wasn't a bad ball at all. He had to go hit that 30-40 yards. I don't think his teammate was sort of quite up to speed with him, expecting it.
Thwaites drills a low one out to the right-hand side, and Junior Brown thinks just for a second that he might be able to get there, and that's brave goalkeeping from Ali Graham, who just allows it to run as close to the edge of the 18-yard box as he can.
Brown was actually, I think, anticipating that it wasn't going to go back into the box there. The keeper had to come and grab that quickly.
Mills just puts a hand out to stop Zane Blake, and as he does so, tumbles to the ground. Yeah, a little bit of a pull of the shirt as well. Meanwhile, ball's all the way back with Cameron Byrne-Hughes.
Great ball into Bradbury. He's drilled that.
Held it up well as well. And Now Nkoto. Just waiting for reinforcements, finds them in Gabriel. Good balance from Gabriel to just wriggle away from his marker. Thwaites to Bradbury, smash goalwards, just deflects away to Nkoto. It's clever football from Manchester United, brilliantly well done from Louis Bradbury. Nkoto gets past his man, that's going to be knocked out of play for a corner.
Yeah, another good piece of play as well. I thought Gabriel's shot there was sort of on its way, but obviously got deflected, and Nkoto's done well to win a corner.
On the angle that we were watching that from, it looked very much like it had looped towards goal. Instead it had come straight back at us. Thwaites. Dead ball delivery from him. Whipped in near post, flicked away. He's going to come back out to Jim Thwaites. And now Gabriel, not shy to take a shot from that kind of range. That one doesn't find the corner and is straight at Ali Graham.
Yeah, good angle from the way the ball sort of was coming in from that left-hand side. Try to find it to that far post. Keeper's up to that one there. Comfortable for him in the end.
Meanwhile, Willows through the middle, has the ball taken away from him, and Jim Thwaites calmly plays this back to Albert Mills. This is what we're very used to seeing from this under-18 side this season. I love to be on the ball, I love to dominate possession and control the game. Make life very difficult for the opposition. Back it comes to Burn Hughes. Brown does pretty well, doesn't he, to keep that in play.
Done ever so well to keep that in play. Bit of a difficult one there from Burn Hughes, but he takes his time, very methodical, tries to pick a pass out in the midfield players.
Watson. Watson does well as well. It's a lovely turn from Thwaites, just loses control of it. Back it comes to Thompson. Stretching past that from Zane Blake, just about get away with it. Nottingham Forest.
Yeah, hurried clearance as well. United to get possession back.
Passes on again, out to Halafu this time on the right-hand side. Up from right back. Has some help with Junior Brown. Gabriel free in the middle. Brown, who scored that brilliant goal against West Ham on Wednesday. Second half of extra time, and he was so composed in the penalty area as he shifted it from his right foot to his left foot and just bent it home.
Yeah, it opens the size of the goals up, which favours him, but he can hit it with either foot as well, and I thought he was going to hit that immediately with his right, but cuts it back on his left and bent one in. Got United on sort of winning ways again.
1-1 at that point when he bent that one home. And then we saw a lovely bit of football through the middle that ended up with Kai Rooney applying the finishing touch on Wednesday to make it 3-1, and Manchester United through to the final to face Crystal Palace in the League Cup. Keep an eye on the Manchester United website and app, and we will keep you up to date with when that fixture is announced. Watson. Collected by Brooms, who's got the pass away. Armour forwards. Strong in the tackle, McAvoy. Koto comes back to Watson. And Armour. Mills and Armour just so comfortable in that situation. And they get helped out by the retreating run of Jay McAvoy. Koto just shows a bit too much of that to Elliot Brooms. Jamna. Manchester United with the recovery runs. Look how many red shirts are back behind the ball. Great effort from them. Gabriel. Gabriel looking for the right pass, comes out to Watson.
Yeah, defenders are very wary of Gabriel's ability. I think they're just backing off him there. They know that he can turn on a sixpence and sort of be past them in a flash.
Mills changes direction, finds Halafu. Forest are running hard early to try and keep some pressure on United across the back four. United are try and take advantage of that. You can see what Dan Armour's trying to do. So many players committed forward by Forest. Some gaps appearing in behind. Jamna back to the goalkeeper, Graham. Was very close to being intercepted by Louis Bradbury. It's good marking from Bolter, high up the field to keep some pressure on Jay McAvoy. McAvoy checking both shoulders and realising there was no way out, had to retreat. Ahmet, the skipper, goes back to the goalkeeper, Cameron Byrne-Hughes.
Yeah, Powell's tried to close him down, but he knows it's just going to be exactly that. United are going to pull their way out.
Which they do again. And Koto. Out to Brown. Can't quite reel that in as it gets switched out to him. Junior Brown. The U18s have had numerous spectators over the games this season. You saw the likes of Michael Carrick and his staff travelling to Oxford United in the FA Youth Cup to watch these guys, and then the senior leadership team, executive leadership team at Manchester United were all pitch side on Wednesday for the game against West Ham. Albarada, Jason Wilcox pitch side alongside Sir Jim Ratcliffe. It's a good ball out to Armour. It's clever from Cameron Byrne-Hughes. Gabriel. Lovely balance as well. Good footwork from him. Goes again, finds a good pass into Junior Brown. Junior Brown clips in the right-footed cross, which is turned away.
Yeah, he does that well, Gabriel. He drifts away from up front, wide left. And once he does that, the defenders have let him turn, then they've got a problem. He can pick a pass out and set United off further up the field.
Halafu just unable to keep that in over on the far side of the field. He was always having to chase it. Halafu heads that one away. Just progressing down the touchline. Forest here. Halafu gets his head to that, and then good body movement from Thwaites to give himself a yard of space to get away. Armour tries to open up that boot to curl that pass into the path of Nkoto. Just straightens up on him. This is Evan Bolter. Goes back to the captain, Will Thompson. Thompson goes for the big hooping switch from one side of the field to the other. Cannot be collected by Schluter. United back in possession with Bradbury. Watson back in and defending. Forces the error, which gives it to Nkoto. Koto, a couple of step overs on the edge of the box, steps away from danger as well. McAvoy and Thwaites. Junior Brown. It's good from McAvoy to find Watson. It's good football, technical football from Manchester United to keep the ball moving. Out to the left. And Koto.
He's done well there, Mills, utilising the space that was empty in front of him there.
So Koto again off the left-hand side. McAvoy just aware of what's around him. It's the first time pass back into the path of Albert Mills. Armour into McAvoy. It's good pressure from Nottingham Forest though, pushing United back to the edge of their own penalty area. United now hoping that that creates a bit of space through midfield.
Yes, Thwaites and McAvoy. Look, Thwaites just looking over his shoulder there. The two of them really come deep.
It's good to watch because the two centre halves, they go wide, as you can see, and then one of the two central midfielders will drop into the space in between them to create that triangle to help them play through the press of Forest. Powell not interested in hurrying up Cameron Byrne-Hughes. Much more interested in applying pressure to Dan Armour. Armour sees the gap to run into and takes it. Intercepted by Thwaites. McAvoy. Must be getting frustrating if you're Nottingham Forest. Just can't get a toe on the ball at the minute, Arthur.
Yeah, and we've seen Powell getting a little bit frustrated when he's trying to stop Byrne-Hughes coming out with the ball, or one of the centre halves. And working on his own up there, it's a little bit difficult for him.
Alafu. Thwaites. Alafu gives it back to Jim Thwaites, who just checks and then slides it through to Junior Brown. Brown with two players around him, manages to keep hold of the ball, gets it away to Jim Thwaites. Alafu. Thwaites beats his man, finds Gabriel. Gabriel's left-footed effort is a little wild. It opened up for United just briefly.
Yeah, it just looks hard to get it half a yard out his feet. Left-footed, that one just underneath that, sailing over the crossbar. Just needs half a yard though to get away, and he's central there. So he's every entitled to have a shot from where he was.
His goal-scoring record from that distance this season suggests that he's more than capable of hitting the target from that range. Just didn't quite work from him on that occasion. Thwaites. Watson. Mills with plenty of space around him. Space is being closed down by Zane Blake. And again, eventually Nottingham Forest do try and hurry up Cameron Byrne-Hughes. Bradbury does brilliantly well, doesn't he, to hold that up and get the couple of passes away that he needs to. And Koto lays it off to the right-hand side. The dummy run from Gabriel to drag a defender away there really opened things up for Nkoto. Alafu. Reverse pass into Bradbury. Bradbury's right-footed effort loops up, brought down by Junior Brown. Brown twisting and turning, eventually has a couple with him, manages to come away with it and get the shot away. Well, he turned between two, and he got his shot on target, Junior Brown.
Yeah, it just comes off the dead ball line. Thought he was going to cross that, but the two of them gets a little bit of good fortune there off of fullback Whitley. Graham's well positioned there for the cross coming in.
Gabriel. Halafu. Halafu just turns away from danger, and Armour can sprint into space here. Dan Armour's up to the edge of the penalty area, finds Bradbury. Bradbury looking for a yard of space, picks out Gabriel. Gabriel checks back, gets the shot in, what a save. Brilliant stop from Ali Graham, diving away, tips it round the post.
Can't do any more than score there. That looked into me. Bradbury just laying the ball off to him there. Cuts inside. Keeper's had a fantastic save there, Graham. Looked in.
All the way. Brilliant work again from Manchester United. Bradbury doing the work inside the penalty area, lays it off to Gabriel, who checks away from his man, gets the shot in, but brilliantly tipped round the post. Out it comes from Forest. Halafu. Out to Thwaites. Thwaites plays it back down the line. Mills across to Armour. Give Armour too much room around the penalty area like that. He had so much space to run into for that piece of play just before the shot from Gabriel. Mills doing the same. Both centre-halves getting involved in the attacking build-up, Arthur.
Yeah, they're getting space and they utilise it. Get into it quickly if you can. Mills on that occasion was the one that was in the opponent's half.
McAvoy to Gabriel. Loose one as Brown loses out. McAvoy just slowing things down. Brooms cuts in from the right. Forest having to work very hard to get through these tackles that Manchester United are putting in. They're so tricky, aren't they? Closing off those passing lanes, having to move the ball quickly. Even Bradbury in a full sprint here to close down Graham. Important that you work just as hard off the ball as you do on it, Arthur.
Well, that's what it's all about. The harder you work off the ball, the opposition can give you the ball back, basically. If you can force them to hit a longer ball, it becomes a 50-50, and usually you win it.
Midway through the first half, and it has been Manchester United who have dominated possession. That's just a bit of a keen tackle from Yul Halafu. Catches his opposite number.
Yeah, his opponent's facing the wrong way. He's facing back. He's going to probably lay it off to his left fullback there. No need to go in too hard on him there, because you just make the ref's mind up.
McAvoy tries to help that through midfield, but it's intercepted. Forward to Powell. A little bit of confusion between a couple of Forest players, but retain possession. Schluter. It's a good ball out to the right. Picked out Brandy. Into the penalty area come Nottingham Forest. Scooped effort into the box, but it is going to be cleared away by McAvoy. Can't be brought down by Bradbury.
Yeah, a lot of red shirts back in the 18-yard box on the edge of the box defending. Just fired a little bit too hard at Bradbury to control that one.
Midfield is very sticky, isn't it, for either side to get through at the minute. Attritional battle so far across the middle third of the pitch. And Hughes. At what point does Jaden Powell decide to put some pressure on?
Yeah, he just gets picked off. Yeah, he drills that ball in ever so well. Burn Hughes firing it in at this, that occasion it was Brown, I think.
Yeah, good touch from Junior Brown to keep it under control. Gives United the platform to go again here with Armour. Watson goes inside. Koto was going the opposite direction. There's a chance to win the ball back. Brilliantly done. Manchester United lead. And it's the pressure from Louis Bradbury that tells. Forces the error. Jay McAvoy latches onto the end of it and blasts home 1-0.
Yeah, just robs his opponent the ball on the edge of the 18-yard box there. Bradbury forcing the keeper to pick a pass out. McAvoy's immediately on top of it. Good tackle. Drills it past Graham Lotie's right-hand side.
That's a good finish too from Jay McAvoy. Great work from Manchester United, and it's effort off the ball, isn't it? It's keeping that pressure up that we were just talking about. They force the error, and they lead by a 1-0.
Yeah, Bradbury closing the keeper down and making him play it, drilling it into a midfield player. McAvoy's obviously on the button there, could see that happening. Good finish as well.
One touch to steady himself, and then bang, ball was in the back of the net. So United lead by a 0 against Nottingham Forest. And it's probably what they deserve, because they have been dominant really on the ball. First real chance maybe, apart from the Gabriel one that was tipped around the post.
Yeah, there's been a patient build-up winning the ball back. But the two midfield players are doing well as well. Thwaites and McAvoy.
Here is McAvoy. Pass out to Brown. He's travelled a long way, that ball, without being cut out. Alafu back to Mills. A little bit of pressure there coming, wasn't there, from Brandy, but managed to get it all the way back to the goalkeeper, who is allowed as much time as he wants to try and find the next pass. This one's out to McAvoy. Taken away from him. Good ball through the middle towards Jaden Powell, and there is the high starting position from Cameron Byrne-Hughes paying dividends.
Yeah, right on top of it there as soon as that ball slotted through. He's well off his line. Good challenge in the end.
Good positions again from United to turn the ball over in midfield. And Koto. Watson's challenge causes Brooms to fall, and the referee gives the free kick. Not sure there was too much contact, it's just the intent and the obstruction here.
Yeah, he was just covering him, making sure that he wasn't going to go right. Overran the ball, full-back Brooms.
Gabriel wriggles away from the attentions of Evan Bolter. Alafu, Thwaites, and Koto. Options ahead of him too. Watson up and with him. Koto goes the other way. Thwaites to Halafu. Oh, that's a lovely ball from Jim Thwaites to try and find Junior Brown. Brown's going to get there, pulls it back to the edge of the penalty area, comes to Halafu. Halafu's effort's just over the top. Well, great football that is from Manchester United.
Yeah, good piece of play on that right-hand side. Halafu up with the play again. Brown picks him out, one touch, just couldn't quite get over it to keep it below the bar. But very prominent on that right hand side, the two of them work well together.
1 and 2 touch football all the way down the field. Pass from Thwaites to find Brown on the right hand side is brilliant. So much grass in front of him for him to run into, just using that space. Watson. Intercepted by Brooms. So pull back on Nkoto. The referee's given the free kick to Manchester United. Didn't think there was a foul in the first challenge. Definitely thought there was in the second. Gabriel tries to get that right-footed pass away. Fighting for that one. Forest that have it. Shot comes in, is stopped by Byrne Hughes. That's right on the borderline, isn't it, from Halafu of what's considered to be legal.
Yeah, just got to be careful keeping your hands down. Yeah, done enough to put his opponent off. I think it was Blake. Byrne Hughes positioned well though. Shot coming in, he saves it comfortably, because he's in the right position.
Yeah, excellent starting position. We've got a problem for Elliot Broom's boot here. Couldn't get the laces undone. Had to employ the teeth, Arthur, to get those laces undone. We've all been there, I think. Can't get it undone with your fingers.
I was going to say a lot of them don't have laces now. A lot of them are like slip-on slippers.
So many different boot styles out there. Byrne Hughes. Bowls it out to Dan Armour. Thwaites. Just from a technical point of view, Jim Thwaites decides to cover the first 5 yards at a full sprint, just in case. And by doing that, he just prevents any potential problem of being pickpocketed from behind. It's clever from Jim Thwaites. A nice lesson for anybody that's back there and defending. If you cover the first bit of that run as fast as you can, you give yourself a bit more time at the other end of it.
Yeah, exactly. It gives you a little bit more time if you get the ball to actually think of where it's going. But him and McAvoy always have a glance over the shoulder to see where their opponents are, if somebody's close to them.
Another good lesson for anybody that wants to become a footballer. Awareness of what's going on around you. Forest, though, in the penalty area. Dangerous spot too. Byrne Hughes sliding out. Collects that ball. That's a great touch to take it away from McAvoy.
And Halafu's coming back on his blind side as well, but Byrne Hughes has got control of that situation.
Well, Forest every now and then just showing Manchester United that they are in this game, despite maybe not having the quantity of ball that United have had. Jim Thwaites is very adept at that first time ball round the corner, almost past the 90 degrees as well, to get it away. Armour steps in on Bolter, but runs free down the left hand side. Whiteley. Bolter. Bolter takes over. Sends it out to Schluter. And now back to Blake.
It's a chance for Forest to have some possession. They've not really seen a lot of the ball.
Brooms finds Brandy. Bolter out to Schluter. Ball down the line. He's being chased by Blake, but he's going to be cleared away by Albert Mills. Picked on by Bradbury. Bradbury's going to keep that run going, and again just gives the defender a hurry up.
Yeah, wins a header, then chases his own header. Up there on his own, very difficult.
Well, he was instrumental in the opener. Maybe Bradbury, just by being willing to put that effort in. Whiteley forward to Blake. Back to Whiteley, across to Will Thompson. And now Elliot Brooms. Down the line for Willows. McAvoy to Nkoto. Nkoto tries to flick that to Gabriel, but just behind him. And the switch is behind Zane Blake, can't reach that one.
Another problem with one of the boots.
This time it's Whiteley having to tighten his laces. Down the line from Halafu. Mills across to Burn Hughes. On to Armour. And again, Powell.
I was going to say same scenario again.
Well, there's the difference between the two number 9s, isn't it? You look at Louis Bradbury, who's all action. Here he is again. Desperately trying to keep pressure on everybody all of the time, and then at the opposite end of the field you've got Jaden Powell, who's quite happy to let Burn Hughes have the ball.
I think he feels as if he closed them down too quickly. He's not going to cause the keeper a problem, because his use of the ball has been excellent again.
Thwaites.
But he needs some help from somebody behind him to tell him when to go and when not to go.
Armour. Gabriel. Good touch from Gabriel, and again steps away a third time and gets the shot in. Oh, it's carried home. That is exceptional. Off the underside of the crossbar. Manchester United have a second. Gabriel has another. Manchester United 2, Forest 0.
It looks as if the keeper Graham had that covered, I think, or thought it was going over the crossbar possibly. Good footwork again from Gabriel, in and out. Hits that. Don't know whether it took a deflection or not, or maybe that wrong footed the keeper, but certainly flew in the top corner, giving him no chance.
It's the dip on this. So as he strikes it here, or does it take a deflection? Yeah, possibly. And off the defender, and the dip, violent dip to come underneath the crossbar, and that's what catches the goalkeeper out.
Yeah, it just seemed to, as you say, I don't know whether it was like deflected or it dipped, but it certainly bamboozled the keeper Graham.
I wonder whether it might have been a bit of both, Arthur. I wonder whether the deflection causes the dip. I'll take another look back when we get the opportunity. But Gabriel on the score sheet for Manchester United leads Nottingham Forest by 2-0. And this under-18 side are in a really rich vein of form at the moment. I'm sure that Darren Fletcher will be delighted with how the first half has gone.
Well, it's no more than they've deserved. They've not had as many shots as they sort of normally have, but certainly they've had enough to keep Graham on his toes. And I think he was really sort of dumbfounded by that shot, because it did sort of swerve, or as you say, whether it was a little bit of a deflection, but it swerved into the top corner. Great hit. If you stand too far off him, he sort of penalises you.
You can't win the lottery if you don't buy a ticket, is what I would say. So takes the shot on, and if it has deflected in, well, couldn't have deflected in if he hadn't taken the shot in the first place. Throw-in comes to Bolter. Runs into a couple of Manchester United players. Gabriel brings it away, gives it to Armour. Captain comes across to Watson. And now Mills. Albert Mills up against Gabriel Schluter. Back to Halafu. It's this patient build-up that catches teams out, isn't it? Manchester United move the ball slowly across the back four, and then all of a sudden there'll be something dynamic like that from Mills to get Manchester United down the field. Brown, Mills. Halafu to Armour. Watson's dropped back to help out his centre-back too. Burn Hughes. What a great pass from Burn Hughes into the feet of Bradbury. This for Manchester United's third, Louis. Bradbury! Brilliant stop again from the goalkeeper, Ali Graham. Just gets himself in the way. Bradbury disappointed, but it's good goalkeeping from the Forest stopper.
Yeah, there's no need to berate himself, Bradbury. He's got a red shirt to his right, but he decides to go alone. Nothing wrong with that, he's pretty central. Keeper's stood up and made a decent save, really.
Defender coming back to him as well. I mean, it's great, isn't it, from Burn Hughes to step out like that and then pick the pass perfectly for Louis Bradbury.
Well, he's done that most of the game, hitting midfield players with the ball, drilling it in as well. Picked out Junior Brown wide right quite a few times.
Near post corner, ends up with Gabriel. Gabriel gets away from danger. Oh, goodness me. That is an exocet from the foot of Gabriel. Rammed into the top right corner, and Manchester United lead Forest by 3-0.
Well, there's no deflection on that one. That was hit with pure venom. Pace, power. Again, jinking on the edge of the box, getting away from opponents. Central again. That's just beating all ends up. Graham.
That's an exceptional hit from Gabriel. Just checks away here on his right foot, opens up. And that is an absolute screamer from Gabriel. You can't argue with that, Arthur.
No, he's done that a few times, not just sort of shooting like that. He's actually skipping away from defenders. If they get too tight with him, they've got a problem because he can go either way, right or left.
So Manchester United's second and third coming from the same source. They're on the front foot again here, Manchester United, and Forest just need to re-find a bit of composure, because otherwise the game will be taken even further away from them than it already is. Halafu with the throw-in. Great time to score twice. Closing 10 minutes of the half. Some cliches are cliches for a reason, Arthur. Just before the break is always a good time to score.
Well, there's never a bad time, but the football's the way they've played, they've dominated this, and actually it's a chance now for Nkoto to hit.
It's a great pass from Gabriel to Nkoto. Gets to the byline, looks to get the cross in, deflects away. Another clever pass, though, to get it through to Nkoto. That's well intercepted by Armour. Thwaites curls a pass into the path of Junior Brown. McAvoy tries to help it on, but it's going to be run away by Zane Blake. McAvoy getting back in a despairing Superman dive to make sure that there was nobody getting past him.
Yeah, it was just maybe possibly nudged off balance there and just sort of hit the deck, but he's up right away and forcing Forest further back again.
I enjoyed the fact that he just launched himself forward to prevent any further forward progress from the Forest player. Committed from Jay McAvoy. Cameron Burn Hughes. Again, no pressure coming from Jaden Powell. And then as soon as there is, away the pass goes.
Yeah, he understands he gets picked off if he goes too tight and too quickly.
That's a lovely bit of skill from Albert Mills to get away. Thwaites. Crossfield pass to Watson. Into the path of Nkoto. Watson is in the penalty area. Gets a touch to it, pushes it across here to Brown. Brown's effort pushed away by the keeper. It's going to be a corner.
Yeah, good piece of play again. Started on the sort of right-hand side of the field. You come over at the left, cut back inside. Good effort from Brown in the end. Graham gets a strong hand to that to send it out of play.
Corner ends up coming in and straight behind. It's going to be a goal kick. Forrest. Rare foray forward through Whiteley. Bolter. Again, just looking for a route through Thompson that time. Carries the ball over halfway and then leaves it for Blake. Back to the captain, Thompson. Whiteley. Just really good pressure from Manchester United. Nobody's got room to think down that left-hand side. That being said, Forest have done very well to play through that press from Manchester United, and it come to Powell, who gets the cross in. This is a real opportunity. Brilliant intervention, that is, from Watson. Then the shot from distance is safely into the arms of Cameron Byrne-Hughes.
Yeah, it's probably the best piece of play we've seen from Forest. They got out of that right-hand side very quickly, and Watson had to get someone there to get a good tackle in.
It's a really good effort.
Yeah, Schulter just scuffed his shot. He wanted to hit it better than that.
Well, the referee brings the first half to a close and Manchester United go down the tunnel leading by 3-0. First one from McAvoy. Brilliant run from Bradbury to really put the keeper under pressure. McAvoy pickpocketed the defender and smashed home. And then it was Gabriel at the double. The first one might have taken a deflection to carry it into the top left-hand corner. The second of his goals certainly did not. A right foot exocet into the top right bins. And Manchester United at half-time lead Nottingham Forest by 3-0. Yeah, it really was good. Right, we are almost ready to get underway in the second half. Referee blows his whistle, and the second half is underway in the Under-18s Premier League North. Manchester United leading Nottingham Forest by 3-0. That change confirmed. Rafe McCormack is on to replace Dan Armour, and it looks like it's immediately a like-for-like replacement. So he slots in alongside Albert Mills in the Manchester United back four. Throw in on that far side is intercepted by Mills. Back it comes to McCormack. Then Byrne-Hughes just steps away from Powell. Calm as you like. Alafu. McCormack. Well, that's been nicked by Schluter. But cannot do anything other than get a toe to it.
He's done well closing it down, the lad, actually, but no teammates up with him, thankfully.
Alafu. Cormac ends up with Gabriel Schluter on the floor in front of him. A bit of movement to get himself away. Clips the pass out to the right-hand side. McAvoy. Brown manages to dig the cross out. Brought away by Nottingham Forest. Zane Blake up against Halafu. Schluter back out to Blake. Blake's got Whiteley with him. Bolter back out to Whiteley, on to Blake. Gabriel closing down, forces the error. United have the ball back. It's just good pressure from Manchester United, working hard off the ball to make sure that they're closing down the spaces.
Yeah, you can't do it on your own, you've got to do it in 2s and 3s.
Mills. Ben Hughes just spots that pass and dinks it over the top, left-footed to Watson. Watson driving forward. Is he impeded? No, says the referee. Wins it back though, doesn't give up on it. Watson to Gabriel. Gabriel on his hat-trick, twisting and turning, gets the shot in. Turns into more of a cross as it fires out to Nkoto.
Yeah, good driving play from Watson, getting United further up the field into Forest half.
Thwaites, Halafu. Mills with Schluter paying close attention. Gets it back to Burn Hughes. Thwaites out to Watson. Forest again, just trying to close down the spaces at the beginning of this first half. Very, very similar to the start of the second half, where they were trying to make life a little tricky. Schluter. The referee is going to give the handball against Gabriel Schluter.
Yeah, patient build-up again from United. Burn Hughes sort of dictating the play when United win the ball back in their own half.
Lafu back to McCormack. Back by Bradbury. Bradbury tries to measure the pass through to Gabriel.
Yeah, right idea. If you had a little bit more weight on that, I think Gabriel would have been off in search of another goal.
Blake runs into Nkoto. Jamna sharing the ball with Bolter, gets it back. Frank Jamna. Forest with some neat football here to get themselves down the field. Powell. Referee happy that neither of those challenges were outside of the rules. Thwaites again with that first time ball round the corner.
Yeah, he knows exactly what he's doing. First time pass, perfectly weighted.
It's a good pass from Mills as well to get it to Nkoto. Gabriel runs away from the congestion in the middle of the field. Get the cross in as well, looking for Brown. Chance for Bradbury, but blocked away. McCormack. Junior Brown. Cross comes in, head comes in, it's back of the net. Bradbury from the edge of the 6-yard box. Inch perfect cross, bullet header, 4-0.
Yeah, getting to the dead ball line, Junior Brown. Very difficult to defend against these when they come in from their perfect cross. Bradbury gets right across his opponent, nods that into the corner, giving Graham no chance again.
Yeah, it's a good header, isn't it? Just beats his man to it. Nothing that Brooms can do there once he gets the run on him. Louis Bradbury just guides his header into the back of the net. Manchester United lead by 4-0.
Yeah, nothing more than he deserves for the hard work that he puts in closing people down. Great cross in from Junior Brown, not too high, perfect on his head.
So Manchester United lead Nottingham Forest by 4-0 in the Under-18s Premier League North. And a good start to the second half for Darren Fletcher's side. Some defending to do here as the boot is removed from Zane Blake. And the referee brings play to a halt.
Yeah, McCormack just grabbed his shot there as he tried to drive on the left. Referee was going to let it go, but I think he then must have trodden his back of his heel there for his boot to come off.
Well, the boot had to have been removed, didn't it, to come flying off like that, so you're probably right, Arthur. Breams down the right-hand side to Brandy. Jamna manages to keep it in. And finds Brandy, looks to get the cross away. Reaching challenge goes in from McCormack, helped away by McAvoy. McAvoy just trying to find some space to get the pass away, can't do so. Forest are still working hard, but Manchester United are comfortable with that 4-goal cushion. Brown just made sure that he got there first, and he wins the free kick.
Yeah, he's had another good game. Just caught a little bit late there.
I think he's probably anticipating that that collision. Helps to prepare himself for it. McCormack. Forward is the only thing on Manchester United's mind here as they look for a route through again. Well, McCormack, we've probably seen him more in central midfield, Arthur. Now what you've got is his range of passing in the heart of defence as well.
I was going to say he's comfortable because he's a midfield player dropping back.
Gabriel for the hat-trick. Sends that one over the top.
So it's not a problem for McCormack, even if he pushes in the right-hand side like he did in that occasion, or he's coming out with central with the ball. He's a midfield player, so he's used to that. Just gets underneath that one, Gabriel.
Another firm connection, though. That time with the left boot. Sure what we're waiting on.
Something
We've
might
got two substitutions, I think.
I was going to say something might be tying their laces again.
We are underway. So maybe those substitutions just having to... No, they are on now. So bring those to you in just a tick. Thwaite. All the balls at the back. Let's just... it is Brandy and Brooms who have made way. So the entire right-hand side has left the field. And Rico Robinson and Spencer Sutton on to replace them. All out to the right-hand side where McCormack has the ball at his feet again. Halafu. Flips into the channel. Bradbury's going to chase again. It's cut out by Thompson. Goes back to the goalkeeper, Graham. to the right. Picked up by Bolter. Intercepted though, and now Jim Thwaites in a positive position. Finds Bradbury in the area. Offside flag's going to go up against Louis Bradbury.
Yeah, Thwaites has done ever so well there, winning that ball, driving forward. Unfortunately, maybe just hit his pass too crisply into Bradbury, just caught a yard offside.
Robinson. It's the ball back, Rico Robinson. Should be a comfortable collection for Cameron Byrne-Hughes, and it is. Trying to get the ball forward quickly, Nottingham Forest. On that occasion, they were just a bit too eager to get the ball in the penalty area.
Yeah, they've made a decent start to the second half compared to the first, but maybe they've been told to try and get the ball forward a little bit quicker. Free kick. Yeah, just helped over. Good control again from Junior Brown, keeping the ball away from his opponent.
Very adept at that, Manchester United. Another batch of under-18s that are finding the way to win. Jay McAvoy, outside of his boot, into the channel, looking for Bradbury. Well defended by Brooms. It's obviously not Brooms that's left the field. I will... 7 it was. And 11, Jordan Willows. So Willows was the other substitution, as opposed to Brooms. Thwaites with the free kick, whipped in. Always provides deliveries that are difficult to deal with, but maybe the counter-attack here from Nottingham Forest comes to something. It comes to Jay McAvoy stealing the ball away, which feels like something that we've said on repeat, Arthur.
Yeah, he's done well there. He doesn't sort of dive into the tackle, just stays on his feet, just reads the situation and wins the ball and sets United off on attack again.
Watson just been allowed to run for 50 or 60 yards. Not going to win the throw-in though. A little unlucky as he steps in to make the challenge that it comes off him rather than the Nottingham Forest wide player Spencer Sutton. 3 changes coming for Manchester United now. So Thwaites looks like he's making way. Thwaites will be replaced by Nkoto. 2 other players coming on here are Noah Ajayi and Kai Rooney. So Bradbury leaves the field to be replaced by Rooney, and Junior Brown leaves the field for Noah Ajayi. Well, that doesn't weaken Manchester United in any way, shape or form. So Nottingham Forest still with plenty to worry about. Probably bring Nkoto out to the right-hand side. Ajayi will stay on the left. Rooney will play through the middle. Scored a really lovely goal against West Ham in the League Cup in midweek. Ball was played out to him, laid it off, and it was smashed through the middle by McAvoy. Got back on the end of it and finished. And that goal away to our left-hand side. He's going to get one today. He'll have to score it at the opposite end. Halafu. Koto. McCormack. Another one of those Manchester United players that excellent communicator on the field as well as being technically capable. As we've mentioned, him playing in the heart of defence means that you've got best part of 3 central midfielders on the pitch. And Koto. Halafu. And Koto back to Yul Halafu. Good touch from Ajayi, finds Rooney. Ajayi bearing down on the penalty area, gives this back to Rooney. Rooney in the box, gets the shot away, good save with the feet. Comes out to Gabriel. Gabriel looking for space for the hat-trick, gets the shot in, drags it wide.
I think some of the defenders were retreating on the goal line on that occasion when he manages to get it back onto his left foot again. Good play from Ajayi and Rooney on that left-hand side. Tight angle for the shot, but it's on target.
Pops back out to Gabriel there, and you think that he's going to end up burying it, just drags the left foot effort wide.
Opens the goals up again, and he's shooting from around about the penalty spot, and so you're looking at all the goals, but unfortunately as well, 2 defenders rushing back onto the goal line.
McCormack comes out to the right-hand side, and Koto. Koto working really hard. You can hear the shouts of don't foul, and he doesn't. Comes to Koto on the edge of the area. Looks to play that across to Ajayi, but it is intercepted by Robinson. Closed down by Ajayi. He's so quick over the turf. Caught everybody out.
Keeper done well at getting rid of that because he's so quick. He's closed them down there, and nobody was expecting that.
Well, this is Kai Rooney's second age group game of the day. Played the first half of the under-16s game just across Carrington, and then has darted across to play the final bit of this under-18s game. That's absolutely brilliant.
That's great if you've got the energy to do that.
He's had a little bit of a break there.
No, we'll let him off of that.
Really good. Like I say, scored a really good goal as well in midweek. You're looking to get involved again. In fact, already involved here with that 1-2 down the left-hand side to release Ajayi. Mills. McCormack. Koto. Rafe McCormack just having a look ahead to see where the pass is, but decides square to Nkoto's where he's going. United with a 4-goal cushion, Arthur. Don't have to be in any rush to try and find that killer pass through the middle. They can afford to keep recycling the ball.
That's all they can do, is just make sure you just keep the ball 1 and 2 touch and move your opponents around.
It's a clever reverse pass, isn't it, to get the ball forward, and now out to the right-hand side, and Nkoto being supported by Halafu on the overlap. It's the left-footed shot in, doesn't get the purchase on it that he wants there, Nkoto.
Yeah, he's looking to cut inside on his right foot to open the goals up. Didn't get any bend on that, just sort of kicks the ground possibly. It flew over the 6-yard box.
Into the final quarter of the game, pretty much. United leading by 4-0. Ajayi runs the outside. It's a powerful run. Comes into the area, hits a crossbar. Gabriel looking for his hat-trick. Sees the woodwork rattle and the ball bounce away.
Again, it's another one that surprises the goalkeeper, because I don't think from that angle he's expecting that. But I think when he gets a ball, you've got to expect anything.
It's a great run from Noah Ajayi down the left-hand side to put United in that position. McAvoy can't get on the end of that. Smashed across field. Out of play. Yul Halafu will take the throw in. This was the run from Ajayi as he just powers past Sutton. And then as the ball drops to Gabriel in the area, just hits the top of the crossbar and loops away.
Yeah, he smashed that. He's past the front post and he's almost going flew in the top corner again.
Another change here for Nottingham Forest. Frank Jamna is the player that is being brought from the field. Had a difficult afternoon in central midfield. Really tricky. And to replace him, Basima Balagizi. Rafe McCormack bringing the ball away from the edge of his own area, finds Jay McAvoy. McAvoy out to the right-hand side, and Koto taking on Whiteley. Steps away, back to Halafu. McCormack. Mills. Rooney lays that off and then into the path of Gabriel. A crucial intervention prevents that from entering the penalty area. Schluter loses out. Combination of Manchester United players gathered around the ball.
Yeah, as soon as the midfield player Schluter wins that, he's immediately got 3 red shots at his heels trying to get the ball back, which they obviously do, to get a hold of it in the end.
It's a numbers game. Gabriel and Koto. Good touch to get him away. And Koto into the penalty area. Looks to find the cross, can't find Rooney. Cleared to Schluter, who again has 2 red shirts with him. Gabriel makes the intervention, pulled back to Rooney in the penalty area, lifted away from the edge of the box, but this is one-way traffic, as we've already pointed out, and Koto intercepts. This stage of the game for Manchester United is often where they really come into their own, turning the screw, keeping the pressure high up the field.
When you get into the last quarter of the game, the opponents have actually found things a little bit difficult, especially if they're losing. They're trying to chase the ball back and can't get it.
United, that's where the possession stat really counts, because when you've been defending for 70 minutes like Nottingham Forest have, you've been chasing things down, probably got a little bit less energy in the tank than you would have had you been on the ball. All over the top, and Koto uses that shoulder to good effect. Halafu arriving. McCormack and Halafu sharing the ball. And Koto. Watson on another energetic run to the edge of the penalty area. Gone out of play. Yeah, will be a corner. I thought that might be the case. The goalkeeper.
Yeah, he's trying to please his innocence there. How can the linesman see across where the nets are as well? It is a corner.
Which has been taken, and Koto drills the shot in low. parried by Graham and then cleared by Forrest.
Another good save by Graham, the keeper. Low down to his right.
Ajayi and Koto. Referee's playing advantage. Comes into Watson. Pulled back. Gabriel and Koto. Back to Gabriel. Turns. Gets the shot in. Blocked and cleared away to Koto on the opposite side. Who just hurdles that challenge from Schluter. That was nonchalant from Koto.
Yeah, it looked like a tackle was coming in there and he just sort of evaded it cleverly.
Koto tries to play that ball over the top, just a bit straight for Koto to get on the end of. Back to Rico Robinson. Cross to Will Thompson. Whiteley. Gabriel Schluter. Robinson to Bolter. Out to the left and Whiteley. And again, Manchester United with numbers back behind the ball, just making life difficult for Nottingham Forest. Might get away here with Powell. They've worked themselves into a good position here, the Tricky Trees.
Yeah, United have got everybody back again, defended. Even though they're winning 4-0, it doesn't matter. They're defended if their life depends on it.
That's going to be a penalty. Yeah, I don't think the referee had any choice. I think Noah Ajayi just loses his footing, and as he loses his footing, he makes the connection with the player that's running into the box. It's good running from Zane Blake, I think, to get himself there. Yeah, just loses his footing and catches him. Yeah, Zane Blake goes down.
Nowhere near getting a touch on the ball there, and I think you might be right. It seems to be a little bit sort of heavier down that side of the pitch.
I think he's just lost his footing. The referee's going to book Cameron Byrne-Hughes as well, for good measure, and that can only be for something that the goalkeeper has said rather than done. Wasn't involved at all in the incident that led to the penalty. Rico Robinson steps up and scores, makes it 4-1 to Manchester United. That's a good penalty, sends Cameron Byrne-Hughes the wrong way, and they have a consolation. Well hit.
Yeah, struck cards into the corner. Gives him a bit of hope for the last remaining 15-20 minutes.
15 minutes to go. 3-goal cushion for Manchester United, though. The penalty has come really from the first attack that Nottingham Forest have put together in the last 20 minutes. Only a slip from Noah Ajayi, really. Important now that United just keep their concentration for the next 5 or 10 minutes, Arthur.
Well, it tends sort of to be when you get a lot of substitutes made and people are getting moved around positions, shouldn't make any difference to United, but certainly that's the idea, really. Just concentrate on what you're doing, and even though the game is won, still try and play the ball early and give your opponent a little bit more time when he receives it.
Momentum has a funny way of shifting in games of football. You don't want to give too much of that away. Koto to his brother, but has to work hard to win that back, and all of a sudden it opens up for him. Gets it across to Gabriel. Gabriel's waiting for it. Another critical interception to carry the ball away. Gabriel can Smell it, can't he? That hat-trick is just lurking around the corner if he can get the ball in the right place. Noah Ajayi's effort, and that restores the 4-goal advantage that Manchester United have. Noah Ajayi fires home, right-footed, bottom left-hand corner, 5-1.
Yeah, we've seen him doing that a few times in this league, cutting inside, dancing with the defenders, opens up the goals again, smashes it low past Graham to his right.
Lovely body movement to give himself the ability to get past the unbalanced defender, and then right-footed into the bottom left-hand corner. And the 4-goal advantage has been restored. Football's a very simple game sometimes, Arthur, isn't it?
Well, when he gets the ball, you've got a problem, basically, because he can go either way, and he's very quick. I know he's been tracking back and lost his foot and given a penalty away, but he's certainly redeemed himself there. Cutting inside on his right foot, smashing it past Graham.
So 5-1 with 12 minutes of the game left to play. Robinson out to the right-hand side, then gets it back, sweeps it across. Koto thought he was going to get there. Goalkeeper only just evades the outstretched boot. McCormack. His teammates are trying very hard, aren't they, to pick out Gabriel inside the penalty area. It's not quite happening for him at the moment. Still time. Rooney closing down. Maybe another opportunity coming at the other end of the field here for Jaden Powell. Blake drills in a low cross, which is headed away by McCormack. Robinson steals that from Nkoto. Then cleared away. Schluter has left the field to be replaced by Shakur Samuels.
Yeah, just took a little bit of a deflection there as he attempted that shot.
I think Manchester United quite happy to reduce Forest to taking pot shots from outside the penalty area. And the corner hasn't been put into the box. Allows United an opportunity to get out and close it down. Sutton. Whiteley. Asking an awful lot there of Will Thompson, who tries to get on the end of it, but can only nod it behind for the goal kick. You speak to ex-professionals, they do say that that can be a bit of a frustration. You've got a corner and all your big lads have come up from the back and then it never actually makes it into the penalty area.
Yeah, and you get, I think, a few volleys from your teammates there heading in your direction if it's not coming.
Verbal ones rather than physical ones.
Exactly, yeah.
Across it comes from Albert Mills to Rafe McCormack. Rooney, first time looking for McAvoy. And Rooney just catches the Nottingham Forest midfielder. It's Elliot Brooms that's playing a little more centrally here. Boot removed, and Rooney penalised for that tackle. Had a problem keeping his boots on today, actually, Elliot Brooms.
Yeah, he's been had to tie it up quite a few times. Obviously not done it well enough.
I'm sure Darren Fletcher will be delighted with the performance that his side have put out today.
Well, they've continued the second half just like the first. For 90 minutes they've played ever so well. Looks as if they've got goals in them every time they go up the pitch.
Sunderland in the FA Youth Cup is the next one for Manchester United's under-18s. It's an important game for Darren Fletcher's side. Good running from Blake, and he's got it across, and there's another one. Turned home by Balagizi. Just manages to ghost in between a couple of Manchester United defenders, and Forest have got a second.
Well, that first goal that they scored has given a little bit of sort of belief for this last 15 minutes of this game.
It's good running from Blake down the left-hand side. Manages to get the cross through. Good positioning from Balagizi. (5-2). Seven goals on it. Oh, that's been given away by Burn Hughes, and maybe a chance for 5-3. It's brilliant defending. Absolutely fantastic from Nkoto and McAvoy to close down the space.
Yeah, I think it was McAvoy just getting the last challenge in there just to give the corner away.
Hint of a foul that on Cameron Burn Hughes.
I've seen it again. It was Nkoto that got his toe of that.
Forest with the bit between their teeth in the closing stages of this one. I think that might be a little bit of cramp, mightn't it, for Jay McAvoy.
Yeah, just stretching to get a challenge in there. Thought it was his hamstring for 1 minute, but no, it's not. It's the two of them have stretched him off, a bit of cramp.
No more outfield changes available for Manchester United, so I have to try and fight through it. Covered a lot of ground, to be fair. Jay McAvoy today, box to box.
Yeah, the two midfield players are doing ever so well in there in that middle of the pitch. They're setting off the attacks, along with the two centre backs as well.
The like-for-like change for Jay McAvoy would have been Rafe McCormack, so there is always the possibility to shake things up on the pitch and potentially switch those two around if you need some legs. McCormack is into the challenge there. Sliding tackle. Brooms. Forward they come again, Nottingham Forest. This is Robinson. Sutton. Whiteley. Nkoto. Yeah, that's going to be a foul and a free kick for Nottingham Forest. Sutton. Bolter to Sutton. Watson gets his head to it, just knocks it up in the air. Allows Ajayi to come and help his fullback out. Ajayi back to Mills. McAvoy still having to cover the ground there.
Good layoff again, first time pass from Burn Hughes. He slots it comfortably back to his United teammate.
Forest managed to negate that press of Manchester United as well.
Looked like an arm.
Referee thought the same, Arthur. Was given the free kick.
Yeah, McCormack gave a shout out there. Hopefully that helped the ref make his decision.
I think we both spotted it as well from the commentary box. Watson to Ajayi. Nkoto. Some tired legs out there on the seat. Just trying to find the burst of acceleration that's required to get to things. Rico Robinson. Spencer Sutton. Jonathan Whiteley lifts one towards the back post, which is headed away by Watson. Back in by Robinson. One bounce off the turf and safely into the arms of Cameron Byrne-Hughes.
Yeah, it could have been awkward if that had skipped off the top, but he's well positioned again there.
Ajayi. Lovely footwork again from Noah Ajayi down the left-hand side. Takes his time. Comes back to Watson. Koto. McAvoy. McCormack. Rafe McCormack again. Head up, looking for where to put this one. Tries to squeeze it through to Rooney. Finds a great pass, actually, to Kai Rooney. And Koto. Rooney again. Rooney's effort is a tame one and saved by Ali Graham.
Yeah, we're still getting to the 89th minute, and still Graham's having to make some saves, which is great to see. Still working the goalkeeper, even though the game's over, and they've peppered him all day.
Yeah, goals have been shared around by this Manchester United side as well, Arthur. That's always good to see too. Midfielders chipping in with goals, forwards chipping in with goals. Jai thinks he's intercepted that to regain control, but it just trickles away from him. McCormack's challenge loops the ball back to Halafu. Yeah, McAvoy just sits in there, takes over from McCormack. Those two with the ability to swap positions. Mills. McCormack to Halafu. "90 minutes is up. Into stoppage time we go. Manchester United taking all 3 points away from this one. Mills. Measures that one through to Nkoto. Just can't squeeze that over the head of the defender. McAvoy. Halafu. Nkoto. McCormack just trying to take the sting out of the game now. Manage it to its conclusion. Can't imagine there'll be too many added minutes. Had the goals in the second half, but the scoreline's quite wide. Koto. Intercepts there. He's done well. Wrestles one away and then looks to get the shot off, but into the heels of the defender. Halafu.
Yeah, he's had another consistent game, Halafu, hasn't he? Can go into midfield a little bit from full back. Looks comfortable wherever he is.
Halafu moves it on again. What have you made of the performance as a whole, Arthur?
Perfect, really, again. Some good play all over the pitch, really. Centre-backs in the first half, very consistent, setting off a lot of the attacks. two wide players have done ever so well. Strikers have weighed in with goals, none more than Gabriel. Just unfortunate he couldn't get a third one, but we'll let him off with that.
It's a foul, and
I'm sure Dan and his staff will be delighted with the performance. You always get sort of things happening when there's a lot of substitutions made and other players are introduced. They're all trying to make their mark in the game.
Robinson looking to maybe have one final charge forwards. Sutton comes back to Thompson. Well, Manchester United have definitely shared the goals out. Couple for Gabriel, Bradbury, McAvoy, and substitute Ajayi, all on the score sheet for United today. And referee does bring the game to a close, and Manchester United with a well-deserved 3 points keep pace with Manchester City at the top of the under-18s Premier League North. McAvoy opening the scoring for the Reds, then a brace from Gabriel, one in the top left-hand corner, one in the top right-hand corner. Bradbury in the second half started the scoring again, and then Ajayi wrapped things up for Manchester United to make it 5-1. A brilliant win for Darren Fletcher's side at Carrington. Manchester United have beaten Nottingham Forest by 5 goals to 2.